You know that person. You know that version of yourself that no one else knows yet. You even carry a picture of that version of you in your heart. That's how dear that person is to you. Yet, for some reason, you keep postponing the day when you can finally meet each other. It's like holding a special gift in your hands and being afraid to open it. Wouldn't that be strange? It's your gift, right? So why do we hesitate so much to open it? Why are you delaying the moment when you can finally see the beauty inside that box? The beauty inside of you that's waiting and waiting to be discovered and embraced. What are you so afraid of? Is it the fear that people will judge this new version of you? Or the fear that you might not be accepted by being who you're meant to be? Or maybe it's the fear of losing some of your friendships and relationships. Or maybe it's the fear that you might not be able to measure up to your own expectations. Or maybe you feel like you're not good enough yet. Or maybe you don't deserve this version of you. What fear is it? Could it be the fear of change itself? We all know that becoming the person you are meant to be, it requires you to let go of old habits, old relationships, and even old ways of thinking that no longer align with your growth. And I know that's terrifying, isn't it? To let go of what you know and step into the unknown. You've probably heard of this famous quote by Clement Stone that goes like this: thinking will not overcome fear, but action will. It's that simple. So block those thoughts that tell you that you are not good enough, or that you don't deserve a better life, or that no one will accept you, and other negative thoughts that you might have. And go do the thing that makes you feel most alive. One example, a personal one. Ever since I can remember, I've loved poems. I feel like I was stepping into a totally different world when I was reading them. And I don't know why, but I found it really magical, the way poets play with their thoughts and how creatively they translate them into words. And to make the long story short, little by little, I began to put onto paper my own thoughts, my own feelings, and all the other things I couldn't say out loud. And sure enough, pretty soon, writing poems became the thing that, when I did it, I didn't feel like I should be doing something else. That's how much I loved writing poems. So for me, poetry became the language of the soul, of my soul. And I fully enjoyed speaking it. Of course, at the beginning, I wrote just for me and for my family. And for a while, that was enough. But the more poems I wrote, the more I wanted to share them with the world, Yet, something was stopping me. I was so terrified to share them. I remember every time I attempted to share one, I kept asking myself, why should I even do it? Who needs poetry in the 21st century? Are poems still relevant? What if people don't like what I've written? Who am I to think that my words could matter to anyone? And the more I questioned myself, the less courage I had to hit post. Until one day, when I decided to stop overthinking and just do it. I felt like I just couldn't ignore that part of me anymore. So I shared one poem. Just one. Was I scared? Absolutely. But you know what? The moment I hit share, something changed. And it wasn't about how people will react to my poem. No. It was about me. It was about the courage that I finally had to honor that part of me that I kept hiding for so long. And I can't describe you how liberating it felt and how proud I was of that little step that made all the difference. Of course, it wasn't perfect. And it wasn't easy. But it was real. And it was mine. It was the first step towards embracing my truest self. The one who is confident, bold, and unafraid to be authentic. Here is a quote by Robert Two that I wanted to remember. Sometimes, what you are most afraid of doing is the very thing that will set you free. And that's the main point I wanted to take away from this. The person you are meant to become is waiting for you. You just have to find enough courage to take that first step. That one action, no matter how small, that will set you free. So ask yourself, what step have you been too afraid to take? Maybe it's starting a project you've always dreamed of. Maybe it's expressing yourself in a way you've never dared to before. Or maybe it's as simple as admitting to yourself that you deserve more than you've been settling for. And whatever it is, my friend, take that step. Face that fear. Open the gift that's been in your hands all along. You'll discover a lot of hidden strengths and talents you never knew you possessed. And here is the most beautiful part. Every time you choose to show up authentically, every time you take a small step outside of your comfort zone, you are becoming that person. You don't become your best self overnight. It's not a single leap. but a series of small, consistent steps. It's choosing to act with courage, even when fear is screaming in your ear. It's showing up day after day, even when it's hard, even when it feels impossible. So, today I want to challenge you to do one thing that scares you the most. One thing that brings you closer to the person you are meant to be. It doesn't have to be big. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting. Maybe it's setting a boundary. Maybe it's finally saying, I'm proud of myself. So, whatever it is, take that step. Because every step counts. You deserve to meet face to face the best version of yourself. You deserve to live a life that reflects the picture in your heart. And the world deserves to meet the real you. So go ahead. Become who you're meant to be. And always remember that the only thing standing between you and the life you're meant to live is that one moment of bravery. So go for it.